All right. Well, thanks for being on here.
Hmm.
This is something we do on our YouTube channel, and basically trying to get to know our community more. And and since we had a lot of new people come into the Discord from the GranBlue online tournament, which you did win. I've
Hmm.
taken this opportunity to get to know you. Hopefully, you stick around and we get to know more about you. So Um, in this next episode, we'll be talking to Mr. RiceMaster. So if you
Yeah.
wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
My name is SR RiceMaster, or just SR Rice for short. SR is Shadow Royalty. That's a production team that me and a few other people we run. We do tournaments and other production work for streaming and stuff like that. Basically, for me, I've been part of the FGC since 20, I believe 2010, which was Street Fighter 4. I was a Chun Li player during that time, during Super Street Fighter 4, and basically I've been around TOing and entering tournaments for about that long. I'm basically now in my, I guess you can say, retirement part of the
Yeah.
FGC era now for me,
Okay.
because I don't really enter tournaments like that anymore. I was mostly just a TO.
Right. Right. So basically, your tenure is just, kind of supporting it through making it run smoothly
Hmm.
past the competitive days, which is pretty nice. So, you said you mentioned Street Fighter Four and all that stuff. Did you? Is that what you started out with in the beginning, or was it primarily anime games?
I was a Street Fighter 4 player, and pretty much I dabbled in like mostly Street Fighter 4, Marvel. I dabbled in Marvel. I basically played mostly every fighting game a little bit. I wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
super serious. It was like this is like a hobby for me, so
Yeah,
it's more like just me enjoying competition and playing people, meeting friends, and stuff like that.
I can't imagine what it was like in those early days. If you could touch into
It was
those, growing up playing in that scene in the early days, 10 years prior.
well, the scene is definitely a lot different from then to now because a lot back then, like we was a lot more reckless. We talked crazy. It was a great time. It's still a great time, obviously, but it's
Hmm.
definitely completely different compared to how it is now. Online wasn't as good. Like everything was more you have to go to events and stuff like that to meet everybody to get the best experience. But now, since netcodes are so good for fighting games, you kind of can be home and still improve and be better.
Yeah, most of the time, new players like myself was introduced to FGC because of online, a lot of online stuff.
Hmm.
So, um, having offline stuff was a real like testament to see if you could really do as well as you could if you were primarily online. So, I can understand
Yeah.
that. So, one of the things always ask everybody is, how'd you come up with your tag?
It basically was how I met my friend Omega Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him met at school and everything. I introduced him as Reese, and we was over at his house and everything. It's a funny story. His little brothers were basically talking trash and making fun of me and everything, and just said how you spell your name. I told him how to spell my like. I was just gonna try to call myself Reese, but he was like, because it's part of my middle name, which was Maurice.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, "Oh no, that's not Reese. You're Rice." And I'm just like, we started cracking up. I tried to like go against it for a while, and then after a while, I just accepted it. The Rice Master part was basically another joke when we went to Temple during Temple fighting game era, I guess you can say. There was this game on there. It was like an app or whatever, and it was a game. It was only Rice Master 2, and I'm just like, wait, why is there no Rice Master 1? So then I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to adopt the RiceMaster part, but mostly just call me Rice, honestly.
Yeah, it's interesting. So touching up on that, so you're from Philly, I would assume so.
Yes.
All right, what I know I have to. I was told I have to ask this. What part of Philly are you from?
I'm originally from Southwest, but now I live in East Oakland.
Okay.
So as an adult now, so real life and everything, taking care of business and everything, doing normal job stuff, being an adult.
Yeah, especially when you don't want to.
Yeah.
So what led you into GranBlue?
So my friend Katsu, who's also a TO and everything too, he plays like DOA and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He introduced me to basically the GranBlue universe, and I'm like, oh, this looks kind of cool. And I was like, oh, this looks like an anime Street Fighter. And during that time, like, I kind of stopped playing Street Fighter because I didn't like the direction Street Fighter kind of went to.
Mm-hmm.
So GranBlue started becoming more of my type of game. And so he introduced me to GranBlue, and I was like, oh, I love this game. Like, this is everything I like in a fighting game. It has good defensive options. It has great characters. It has, like, all the stuff I would want in a fighting game. And I started playing, and I loved the game. And I've been playing it pretty much since.
I can imagine a lot of people from Street Fighter 4, and then they picked up Street Fighter 5 and not really liking it.
Yeah.
So,
I love Street Fighter 5.
Oh, you loved it?
No, I hate it.
Oh, you hate it. Yeah, I was pretty I was introduced with Tekken instead of Street Fighter. So the first Street Fighter I did play was 5, and to me, I didn't see any problem with it. The only thing I didn't like was Ken's Heavy Tatsu. I hated that so much because it was safe certain points. So I would like try to mash and I get shorted for it, but I mean I used Mika, so I didn't really know what I was doing anyway. Speaking of that, do you like Street Fighter 6 or have you played it at all?
I played 6, and I don't hate it. It's just I'm indifferent, I guess you can say. I don't hate it and I don't love it at the same time. I do love GranBlue, but
Yeah.
I will play it from time to time. I have the game. I bought the game. I still play Chun-Li in it. Well, I played Jury first, and I was like, nah, Chun-Li, because Chun-Li literally has stance switches and everything that I want in my character. So, but 6, not so much. I'd rather play GranBlue.
Yeah, I only played the story mode, to be honest with you. It's not something I can I would be excited to like turn on. If I guess you could say that's where it's at instead of like with you GranBlue. Anytime you put it on, it's just like I could play it for hours. So
Yeah.
yeah, you said that you played all these fighting games in the past, and what was like the first? Well, I'll put it like this: what was the first game you ever played, and then what was the first game you played competitively? And I guess that's probably what got you hooked into fighting games.
So, when I was a child, I played Mario. That was like my very first video game ever since I was like a baby. My first fighting game I played was Street Fighter 2 and Tekken 2.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I'm old. And then my very first competitive game was Street Fighter 4. So I played pretty much. I pretty much dabbled in every fighting game that. I try mostly every fighting game I can at least once. If I don't like it, obviously I won't play it again. So like I play Tekken. I'm solid in Tekken. DOA, not so much. Mortal Kombat, I'm never playing a Mortal Kombat game.
Me neither, bro. Me neither.
Like I tried. I did MK. Like I played MK9. I played MKX. Yeah, I'm not touching an MK game ever again. I tried the Unis. Yeah, I basically tried. Oh, and my other favorite fighting game is Kingdom Fighters. But
okay, well,
it doesn't get played. It doesn't get played that often in this region. So
yeah, that's some difficult stuff. Even DOA, like there was a myriad of time where I was trying out to see what DOA was about because it had that the dude Ninja, the guy from Ninja Gaiden in there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, but I hate the combo. It's the same way I feel about MK. I don't like the combos or the juggling. It just feels so stiff. Like it just feels weird, you know? But
for me, the problem with DOA is it has to compete against Tekken, and Tekken is just so good. Like Tekken is so good that it's like, why would I play DOA when Tekken is like, unfortunately, the superior game. Like, don't get me wrong, it has its good moments, but it's just right now Tekken is taking over when it comes to 3D games.
Absolutely, like everybody is probably going to be chomping at the bit when Tekken 8 comes out.
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully.
Hopefully.
I got my pre-order.
Yeah, I got mine. I got the demo. Now that I'm dealing with someone that has been in the scene for a lot longer. I finally have the opportunity to ask someone, have you ever tried Street Fighter X Tekken, and what was it like?
Love Street Fighter X Tekken.
Really?
I love Street Fighter X Tekken. With that game, yes, it has some of its issues where you like. We made the joke where basically you EXDP, like you EX bust out, which is basically EXDP or EX invincible reversal out, or like you EX reversal out to tag, and then eventually the game ends up being timed out. The game problem was that it was very invincible focus, and there wasn't enough damage for the game to always. There wasn't enough damage where the game always timed out, basically. So you needed more damage and something to have to deal with reversals. But the gem system was the problem, where like you had to buy certain gems, where Capcom tried to make you pay for certain things. Nobody was having that. The On This DLC was a problem back at that time, where you hack the game and you can play as the DLC characters, and they tried to sell that joint for like, I forgot how much it was. It was a crazy amount back then during that day. And it also didn't just get enough support, I guess you can say. The good type of support as fighting games get now.
I guess you could imagine, yeah, all that. That was the one thing I did hear about with like YouTube and stuff. Like the gym system was like abysmal, and I think from what I've heard, people enjoy it. It's just that competitively, it was just a nightmare trying to get all the gyms, and I don't know who was like the top, but.
The last patch of the game, unfortunately, should have been what the game been released as. But because it got so much negative press beforehand, it kind of killed the game.
Wow.
So I think it was the 2012 version. I think it was is what it should have been. But by then it's too late, and we was already moving on to a different game.
Yeah, it was probably like Tag 2. Or
I think it was like Tekken Tag 2 was coming out, and like Street Fighter 2012 edition basically was out. So obviously Street Fighter during that time, Street Fighter 4 and Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was pretty much running the show.
Now I did try and do a little research, and I saw that you were really proficient in Dragon Ball. as well. I guess I saw.
Oh yeah, I forgot about. Yeah. Yeah, I was solid in Dragon Ball. I was one of, I guess I was one of the best in the city during that time. I didn't really, obviously, like, I didn't, real life stuff, I couldn't travel as much as I would want to, but it's just how it is sometimes. I played Kid Buu, Android 21, Go Black. That was my main team.
Brother. Oh, shoot.
And that was before how busted they are now in the current meta.
Man, I am not. I give all the respect to Dragon Ball players because I've played it and I'm not feeling the blocking, like the block string and all that. Like I play well initially I played well I had no interest in it in the beginning at the time when it came out because I was still transitioning from the Smash community to fighting games, but I picked up Broly, Z Broly, and then I just went random the next two because I didn't really watch Dragon Ball, and I didn't want like all Gokus, but Z Broly. Right. Then tried Hit, I liked it, and then but now I use Bardock, Super Broly, and then Base Vegeta, and I don't think I can use anyone else.
That's a good team. Especially Bardock. For a long time, Bardock ran the meta.
Yeah, and I had no idea. Either. I don't even play. My friends play. He plays Jiren, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and some other Goku, and he always beats me with the it's like the parry move Jiren has. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's respect to you playing Dragon Ball because I know how it's like with Spark.
Yeah, you had to learn to block in that game.
Oh like, my gosh.
If you didn't block well, you was getting open all the time.
That and Dragon Rush, oh boy, that's hard to react to.
Yeah, that Dragon Rush also was. Yeah. I guess I played that game though. I feel like I was getting older from that game.
In your time playing all these games, have you played anyone that was like super notable, like super good?
Street Fighter 4 used to always play like with Sanford and Coach Steve and players like that from New York. They beat my ass, but it's what it is. 5. When I used to play that, I played Punk and everything. Was losing to them. Dragon Ball, played Punk. I was beating Punk in Dragon Ball. Now I basically don't play as much as I don't play as hard to try to be the best like that anymore. I just play for competition.
Right. Which is pretty good to be at, especially later.
I was always trying to be just a really good player. I wasn't like trying to be a world warrior traveling the world and everything. Because this is a hobby. This is a hobby. Like, so like I took my play basically went more into going into a background type of situation where I'm doing production and stuff. I stream tournaments and stuff like that, and run brackets and stuff now.
Well, it's kind of perfect because I wanted to talk to you about the Shadow Royalty thing that you have going on. How did that come about? What's that like? And what's like the players and running that? How did that get started? Just lead me on a path about how that.
So me and my homie Asar, you'll probably know him. Mm-hmm. But me and him, we basically said like we wanted to start a team, stuff like that. Now this is like 2019, I think. And during that time we was just getting started. At that time, me and him, we were both Dragon Ball players. And we sponsored a couple of players and we ran a couple of tournaments. During that time, we sponsored Sage, he was a Jersey Dragon Ball player. You probably know Sage.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
And Childish Vegeta at that time. We basically sponsoring them. and we was, was a team and everything, paid for, entrance and all that other stuff. And during that time, that was when GranBlue was first coming out.
Oh.
Now, so we ran a tournament in Philly in Chinatown, which it was a great turnout and everything. But then unfortunately, the pandemic happened.
Oh, yeah.
And so the pandemic kind of messed things up. We had to take a leave basically and come back eventually. And which, what, 3 years ago, we rebranded and started doing production and everything. Now the part of the team now is still me, Asar, Riff, and Brett. We do now we do like weekly DNF tournaments, bi-weekly King of Fighter tournaments, and we do like other offline events for like bigger gaming. We're trying to expand and obviously do our own other offline events and stuff like that. That's pretty much leading up to what we are now. We have a tournament coming. Well, we do a monthly Street Fighter 6 tournament in Chinatown at Tap Esports.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yeah, down Chinatown.
Man, I feel you with that. On the trying to get things started, and then the pandemic hits. Like, I was supposed to go to Combo Breaker. I got everything paid for and all that stuff, and then it hit, and then they were like, well, you can just keep the money, but we'll send you this nice pamphlet of what you could have been at.
Yeah. The pandemic actually, I think the pandemic actually kind of helped a little bit to steer us in a more production direction, because like us doing production and everything, actually, we all have our own strengths and everything, so we all know what we want to do, and our product is actually pretty solid, I guess we can say, until we obviously get more offline events under our belt and trying to get up there with Evos and all that, eventually stream for them and stuff like that.
Do some of your players or your roster, I guess, ever
we
try
don't
to
really have a roster players
okay.
anymore.
Oh.
We're just a production team now.
Oh, okay. So, well, I guess, is there any stepping stones you probably would like to take to get to that high production level that you're doing right now, or you see yourself, just trying to keep working at it?
We just keep grinding, and hopefully a big name tournament will notice us, and hopefully we can stream something and get paid to do it.
Being in Philly, I would imagine that you have a somewhat of a relationship with Iron Fist Philly.
Yeah. We talk to them all the time. They actually in our Discord. We talk to them like every day. So we have a good relationship with them.
Now, have you? I mean, I'll probably just answer my own question, but you've been down there. How's it been over there with competing with them? Because I know that it's a lot of tough competition, if I say so myself. But
we don't exactly compete with each other, because we basically do two different scenes, I guess you could say. Because they deal with more the Tekken area. Like, we're doing like Street Fighter and other anime areas. So we're kind of like, we're not in the same realm with each other, honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like, if we need help with them, like from them, we can call them and like, yo, we need your help with something, or if they need our help, they can call us and we can help them out. So we're pretty close, because we're friends anyway. So
yeah, I always think about since you're talking about DOA. The only person that comes to mind is Dame, who loves DOA, and he'll take it to his grave. I don't know if you've ever, had him play any of these anime games. at your tournaments, but I'm sure if you posted something about DOA, he'd show up. Is there any other interests you have outside of the, FGC, anything like that?
Me, I'm gonna be personally like studying cybersecurity. So that's gonna be my next career within the next few years. So looking forward to that. My current job, I like it, but it's not. It's typical life situation is not doing enough for me. I need more.
Yeah. It's not the dream, you know?
And not the dream, yeah.
Yeah, I'm right with you. That's why I'm doing things like this, because this is actually what I want to do. But if I gotta wash some dishes here and there, then I'll do it. But now that like you said, you're more on the production side. Have your hobbies kind of shifted, or are they still kind of just the games, or if you watch any shows or anime or anything like that?
I always keep up with games for the most part, just to see like how I can incorporate to make it look better on stream, and how to make certain assets for it. I'll play here and there. I'll enter GranBlue once in a while, but I'm not like always entering, because I'm mostly dealing with the production part.
Okay, so it's mostly chill, mostly work, if anything like that.
Yeah.
But okay, I did see. Like I said, I did try to do as much research. I did see you're a rap enthusiast, hip hop enthusiast, right?
Yes, sir.
So
of course.
I'm a big fan of music, but growing up, I did not grow up with hip hop and rap predominantly. I was more so into of course, '90s R&B, heavy metal, rock music, and Michael Jackson, of course. But there was some rap sprinkled here and there, like Houdini or somebody like that. But I was never like that guy to know all the stuff until I moved with my dad. Like, he lives in the South. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know about Union Twins. I know about David Banner, stuff like that. So what's your what kind of hip hop did you kind of grow up with? Everything?
I grew up mostly with the Philly, New York rap.
Oh.
So Beanie Siegel, State Property, Locks, Fabulous, Jadakiss, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
That's my love. Like, that's my favorite type of rap. Is, the hard rap like that. And I did listen. I would because every few years or whatever, certain areas ran the rap industry, and when the South was running the rap industry, I listened to Outkast, Luda, even though Luda's not technically from Atlanta, but he basically reps Atlanta. But Ludacris, Below Union Twins, T.I.
It's funny because the only reason I know about Fabulous is because he's always a feature on, like, what's her name, Tamia, or like The Dream or something like that. So I never listened to
Dream,
Fabulous. I just know he's on that, and he like spells his name, Fabolous. So that's why I laughed a little bit, because I'm like, yeah, Fabulous technically is a rapper, but I never like heard his music. T.I.
The unfortunate part with Fabulous is he's a great mixtape rapper, but his albums.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
He's great on mixtapes, but they can't make an album for him for some reason, and his albums don't do that good.
Yeah, I think he's more better as a feature than he is as like someone I could listen to from start to finish.
He's a great feature artist.
He's a great feature, which is not. I mean, it's okay, but
It's,
I'm sure that's
it's
not where
okay,
he
but
wants
it's
to
not.
be. That's not where he wants to be.
It's not where you want to be, guys.
No. My introduction to rap officially was when I got to college freshman year, 2016. Lil Uzi, he came out and the only reason why because his what was it? It was Lil Uzi Vert versus the World. His name was in the font of like Metallica, and I was like, this is a rock guy, but he's a rap guy. I was like, what is that? Then Bad and Bougie comes out, and then that was pretty much it. So then I started going into the wormhole of the mumble rap, I guess you could call it. Years after that.
I don't like that.
The term.
I don't like that era of music. I don't like that era of rap.
I would love, I would love to hear because I've always heard people didn't like that era because it was kind of like against tradition, I guess you would say.
Like I was always been like basically boom bap beat type of rap of the new era of rappers. Like J. Cole and Kendrick basically been the top for me. A lot of these newer rappers, I can't listen to.
Yeah, me like I'm at the point now where I'm like I don't even want to mess with I don't even know her name, but I'm sure there's like thousands of women that I just can't do it. But I can see why at that point in time where I was like super excited to hear about Uzi, Made in Tokyo, Juice World X, whatever. But now if I hear Sexy Red one more time, I'm just gonna lose it.
Oh God! I
can't do it. So I stick to my R&B classics. I stick to my rock music. I got a vinyl record player. And vinyls.
I actually want to get one. I used to have one as a child, and my dad used to always like show me how to like mix and everything on it. But obviously, when you move around and everything, things get lost, things get broken, and I always wanted to get a vinyl again because it just sounds so much better on vinyl compared to everything else to me, and it's just like. I kind of want it again just so like I can have it again.
Yeah.
Just to listen to it, like and just sit and chill, be in the space and just
reminisce.
Listen to it and reminisce on like old times.
Yeah, especially when you pull out the vinyl from the
from
and then you gotta whatever. And then I was always interested in how people or DJs mix, but I was always afraid of like scratching the record. I never wanted to mess up my tape or my record, so I was like I don't want to mess up the needle and I take care of it, I clean it, but I never wanted to like skip and stuff.
Like I haven't done this since I was a child, so like now I'm actually scared to do it too. So I feel you on that part.
And before we move on, I do want to ask who is your favorite rapper?
I have a lot. I guess I have to go with Jay-Z because Reasonable Doubt was like one of my favorite albums. And the Black Album was like my second favorite album. Because like Brooklyn's Finest is like one of my favorite songs. And basically Black Album was just almost perfect for me too. I guess I can say Jay-Z.
You think it was better than Blueprint?
Blueprint is slightly better.
Yeah, that's what I was
slightly better.
I was very surprised. Yeah, but I that's why I had to ask.
I do love the Black Album, but the Blueprint is slightly better because it's just a couple extra songs that's better on the Blueprint than the Black Album. But the Black Album, like when I was listening to it during that time, hit made me understand more. I guess you could say of certain aspects of life.
Yeah, I get you. So now I'm interested to swivel back here. What's your Mount Rushmore of FGC players. You know, if you could name the best the top four of the best players in your opinion, who would you say they are? It's a tough one.
That's the one.
Okay, Jay Wong.
Koichi.
Ooh.
I don't want to be simply all Japanese player or Chinese
No,
player,
you can.
but Justin Wong, Goichi, Shanghai,
Ooh,
Tokito.
Ooh. Shanghai. I don't think I've heard of that name.
Shanghai is like he's a Chinese player. He always dominates a lot. Like he's been dominant in a lot of games, and not just like Capcom games. He does like very well KOF and like other smaller games too.
Okay. That's
But Justin, simply because he's been dominant in so many different games, like Marvel, Street Fighter, Third Strike, obviously. I unfortunately wouldn't put Daigo there because I've only seen him really dominate Street Fighter and Guilty Gear. Meanwhile,
yeah.
I've seen Tokito dominate in multiple games. I've seen Shanghai dominate in multiple games. Koichi in multiple games. Because I remember Koichi was very dominant during Dragon Ball. He was dominant during like.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like he does well in like other anime games too.
Shoot, me.
Actually,
it's a little.
I might have to put me. But the new person that might be on that list now might be Arslan.
Arslan? Yeah, I was about to say. That was actually
he's a problem. He's won the Tekken World Tour, he won EVO, he's won every big event for Tekken. Now, if he continues the way he's playing in Tekken 8, he's definitely knocking Shanghai off for me.
Yes. Yeah. He also plays
and he plays KOF also.
Yeah,
he's really good in KOF also.
Yeah, that's what my Mount Rushmore was. It was me, Reinhardt, Arslan, and Jay Wong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Arslan is creeping up there. So
like he's about to be up there very soon if he continues to Tekken the way he is. Because when he popped on the scene, nobody had answers to him for a long time.
Yeah, no. And they probably still don't.
And then he talking about, I'm not even the best in my region.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not even like there's at least like 5 people better than me in my region. I'm like, no way. And then somebody else won Tekken World Tour from his region like what, last year or the year before. It was either Tekken World Tour or EVO one of the years.
Yeah, it was like I think it was.
I'm like, who's this person? And then there's like, oh, this is my training partner. I'm like, and he won. I'm like, he won. I'm just like, hey, you better than you? So who else is hitting over there in Pakistan?
I always said this, like, if you have to force Knee to have his passport stamped with Pakistan for the first time just to find out how to play you, then you've been doing something crazy.
Yeah.
Any FGC goals for yourself and your remaining your company that you probably have already talked about, but
yeah. Our goal is basically run more events, get more recognition, get hired to do bigger events, and that's pretty much it. Really.
Yeah. Now I'm always interested in people's opinions, of course. So, what are your FGC hot takes? You've been around for a long time, so there's probably some things we probably have slept on.
There's a couple things. One is I know we want to have more sponsors and stuff for events,
Mm-hmm.
but the FGC needs to be a little bit more grittier. It needs to kind of go back to the arcade era a little bit. Well, I'll say more, I guess, the 2008 era to like 2012, 2013. Because I think things were more hyped then. Things were a little bit, like, there was a lot more trash talking. I think this era is too nice.
I would agree with the hot take. And I haven't even been in that long. I think it's because I'm so much, well, not so much older, but I'm a little older than the current base of people. I'm almost 30, and everyone is either a sophomore in college. So I can understand, growing up, seeing like, Poke Chop or somebody like go crazy, and I was like, man, that's that's exciting. But I was always shy, so I would never want to upset anybody. But I did like to see it. Like to see it.
Yeah, I'm 34, so I miss it. Like, I miss the trash talk. I miss the I guess cursing, I guess you could say. Like not everybody being so PG.
Yeah.
It's okay to be a little.
Yeah, it's okay
to aggressive. It's okay to be a little aggressive. It's okay to talk a little trash. It's okay to,
Yeah.
It's okay to be that. Like, wrestlers used to do it.
Yeah.
So why can't because honestly, the FGC you can take the FGC as a type of as wrestling. Like, you can have your attitude era. We can have the FGC can have the attitude era. Like, we can keep it and still have sponsors and stuff like that. Because what people love is the drama. Like, you need drama in order to push things forward.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that, because there's times if I feel like there's a lame ass character, and I just like, they're so gimmicky, and I'm like, man, but I gotta shake their hand. Sometimes the most I'll do is I won't shake their hand at all.
Yeah,
I don't.
And it's okay. It's okay.
Like,
it's okay to be salty. It's okay to be mad.
Yeah, but then I got clipped for it, and then they like try to send it everywhere. I'm like, are you serious? Like, do you not know who you're playing? But yeah, I agree with that. Actually, I agree with that hot take. Hopefully,
and other hot take, that code, the good net code has, I guess, slightly ruined the FGC a little bit too. When people come out to events, you go for the experience of being at the event and experiencing the game at a different level.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's still a slight difference between online and offline. But now it's kind of blurred so much. So it's like people are not willing to really come out to events anymore, because like we have so many online events that like you can still win money on online events. And then when you go to an offline event, you obviously won't make as much money doing an online event, because you could be just sitting at home. Because now like we're in an era where like I don't need to go to an event. I can just play on these online events and try to win there.
So it's
what's the point of going? And then what's the point of going to an offline event sometimes?
Yeah, it's no risk, and it doesn't really support locals, I guess you could
say. Yeah. It kind of messes up local scenes a little bit. Because when I was, because obviously I've been here since 2010, local events, we used to run a local event like every month or at least one every, like, there's always a local event every week. Now it's like it's hardly that anymore because it's like, why am I doing this when I can go to when I can just be sitting at home? But part of the fun of but the main part of the FGC and part of most of the fun of the FGC is meeting new people.
Exactly.
Like I know our scene is a lot of introverts, but when you take that that risk of going outside your norm, it makes you a better person.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot more by just taking the risk of going out a little bit more rather than being sitting at home being behind the keyboard, because people being behind keyboards all the time, they don't know certain consequences and stuff like that just by saying something, just by typing.
Yeah, and it also can break them out of their shell. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that are friends that met in the FGC. They like travel together. You know what I'm saying? Like they do all these things together because of the game. So, I mean, I wouldn't know where I would be without some of these people.
Like my literally, mostly everybody from my production team, we met in the FGC, and they were my groomsmen for my wedding.
Exactly.
like I know them through the FGC, so they've been my groomsmen. And it's like, even we all in the same city, but it's like we met through the FGC though.
Yeah, and that was the foundation. Let me see. I got one last question before we get into our speed round. What's your opinion on the talent of Smash players being able to? Well, I would say at a top level, Smash players being able to compete in FGC games like like Leffen and Lord Knight.
I am
FGC players.
I am Leffen.
Yeah, I love. Hey, a lot of people love Leffen. But FGC players can't really transition into Smash. I find that kind of interesting. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I don't have nothing against Smash players. Actually, one of my friends, he a Smash player. I think Smash players are really good because they have to constantly break their game to do their movement, and that's something that's like really commendable. Like that you have to do the movement in that game consistently, which is basically breaking the game almost. It's just wild to me. They possess a certain skill that we FGC players don't have, and that's just the constant like movement, I guess you can say, the constant like reactions and everything that they have. Because I seen a Smash player controller, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like I'm getting arthritis just looking at you.
Yeah,
and I love that they can just come over to the FGC and do well. I love competition, so like if you great in Smash, come over and play FGC games.
yes.
Plain and simple.
Prove them wrong. See if they can.
Like prove them wrong.
That's what makes I guess that's what makes Leffen such a phenomenon, because when he stepped out after winning Evo for Melee, he tried Tekken first. He didn't like it, but he was good at it. Then he tried Dragon Ball. Then he tried Dragon Ball.
And he was one of the best in Dragon Ball.
Exactly.
Because I watched him because he played 21. So
and then the Goichi match.
The Goichi Leffen match.
Yeah, even though he lost.
That's like one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite matches in general. Like just in the fighting game in general, because the amount of adaptation, the amount of movement, the spacing, it just was ridiculous in that set from both players.
Yeah. Leffen just needed to hit a 2H. I think if he just hit 2H, he would have won. But
the blocking he had to do, the reflex at the certain points, like because you can't reflect normal against a Goichi or a Leffen, because if you mistimed it by just even a millisecond, and you're getting punished from either one of them.
Yeah. So I think that specific part of the match was great. So with the last remaining time that we have, I know you're a very busy person. I got this. We'd like to do this every time on the channel. On the episode, we got a speed round here. Basically, it's just as it is. I'm going to ask you random questions that may or may not have anything to do with what we talked about, and you do not explain them unless I would want to know. So we're going to try and see what you have up your sleeve here. So, all right. So first thing we have DNF Duel or Project L?
Project L.
Madden or 2K?
2K.
Who's your favorite WWE superstar?
Rock.
Okay. Favorite tournament set from any game, if it isn't the Goichi match?
Yeah, it's Goichi left.
Okay. Funk Flex or Big Boy?
Funk Flex.
I think Funk Flex is just funnier, to be honest. He said, hit your hand in the cash register and take the money.
New York City, you listen to me. If you're near a convenience store right now, any type of 24-hour store, go into the store right now and put your hand in the cash register for no reason. Their money is your money as of right now.
Okay. What's your listening preference, an audiobook or a podcast?
Podcast.
Cereal in the morning or cereal at night?
Morning.
Oh, really? How come? How come not at night?
I'm a morning person, so
okay.
I just love my cereal in the morning. I can do it. I could do at night, but I just prefer it in the morning.
It doesn't hit as well.
It doesn't hit as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Get that little you get that sugar rush in the morning.
And lastly, I think this is gonna have to be a tradition now since I've already asked it every episode. Michael Jackson or Prince?
I like Prince a little bit.
Oh no! Oh no!
Don't get me wrong.
No!
Michael Jackson
you gotta explain why now. You gotta
explain.
explain.
Jackson's the GOAT, but it's just certain songs from Prince just hit different.
Oh, I was so afraid of that. Like what's like Raspberry Beret, things like that.
Yeah.
Diamonds and Pearls, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm such a Michael Jackson fan. I would never choose Prince over Michael, even though I can understand.
It's hard. It's hard to. It's really hard to.
I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready. Shoot.
It's hard. It's hard for me to do it.
It is hard.
Honestly, I don't want to choose either.
But
I love both.
But hey, that's a first. That is a first. The last two guests have chosen Michael, so it's 2-1 right now. But if that's a hot take, if anything. But I'm glad we were able to end it on such a good note. If you, I'm glad that you are here and remain in our scene. We'll definitely support yours as much as we can. Before we go, of course, is there anything you want to plug? Any ads where people can find you, find Shadow, Royalty? Shout outs to anyone.
You can find me at, I'm in the Discord. I don't really be on Twitter that much, but my Twitter is at RiceMaster215. Shadow Royalty, obviously, Shadow Royalty GG. And yeah, come on our Discord, honestly, and because we always chilling and having a good time in our Discord, and we gonna be playing Power World. So if y'all trying to get in the Discord and play Power World with us, hop on in. And yeah, that's it.
Oh, sweet. Well, thanks for joining me, and congrats on the GranBlue win that we have. The next episode we'll have our runner-up, and hopefully he'll have some nice things to say about his second place. Thanks, thanks for joining. Feel free to post that this.
Wait, before we get that,
yeah.
I know he was expecting our eye the whole time, but the Vera was because I had to test some things on him. Just to see what he was going to do.
Knowledge check.
Yes, I literally, that was a 3-0 watch simply because I wanted to test something.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reset was like, okay, I got all the data that I needed. And that's why I had to do Narmaya.
It's all the specials right now.
No, that's gonna hurt. Oh, but did not use super. You gotta do it now, bro. You gotta do it.
Saving it for this, yeah.
Okay.
Big animation too and everything, yeah. Can I just say, this music is so much heavier than I thought it would be for GranBlue.
Like that.
You freaking hard copy. You freaking got him on a resume. Just fax machine. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you got that out. So we'll see what he has to say. But thanks for joining. Feel free to post your Discord and our Discord, and we'll have people. We'll see if people want to join. Thank you, and we'll be in contact with you soon with other events online, hopefully. But thank you, brother.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Good night.